Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we separate food facts from food fiction faster than you can say kale smoothie. Today, we're about to embark on a culinary investigation worthy of a Netflix docuseries. Because what you eat might just be plotting against you. I know. You're out there being a health hero, grabbing that low-fat yogurt, reaching for whole wheat bread, maybe even treating yourself to a diet soda. Gold star, right? But what if I told you some of these healthy choices are sneakier than your Wi-Fi password? Yep, some foods are undercover agents for Team Unhealthy, with marketing labels shouting all natural and heart healthy louder than your alarm clock. It's no wonder we're confused. According to a 2020 study in Food Packaging Can Seriously Mess with Our Decision Making. That's why I had to make this video. Think of me as your food myth buster, minus the lab coat and the explosions. We're slicing through the noise like a chef with a brand new knife. Straight to the science, no fluff, no nonsense. I'm counting down the top 10 most harmful foods you might be eating every day. Yes, even that innocent granola bar. Spoiler, it's not so innocent. And we're not just naming and shaming, we'll peek at the science. Did you know a Harvard study found that sugary drinks can increase your risk of heart disease by 20%? Yikes. We'll see how these foods mess with your body, from your immune system to your heart, and even your risk of chronic diseases. Basically, it's like a horror movie for your insides. My mission? To arm you with the knowledge to make healthy choices, so you and your family can be the superheroes of your own health story. So grab a glass of water. Yes, water. Not that suspiciously neon sports drink. And get ready to take notes. Your future self will thank you. This info could be the plot twist your health journey needs. Who doesn't love a good before and after? I want to hear from you. Are you dodging these foods like a pro? Or did one of them just betray you? Drop your stories below. Bonus points for dramatic flair. Your experiences are the secret sauce of this community, so don't be shy. Spill the beans, the healthy kind. All right, let's jump in, because your health deserves more than just a side salad. All right, let's kick things off with a big one. Perhaps the most notorious villain in modern nutrition, sugar. We're not just talking about the spoonful you add to your coffee. Sugar is a master of disguise, hiding in about 75% of packaged foods and drinks. It goes by many names: high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltodextrin. But no matter what you call it, the effect on your body is largely the same. It's an insidious ingredient that has woven its way into the very fabric of our food supply. When you consume sugar, especially in the refined forms found in sodas, candies, and processed foods, your body gets a massive unnatural jolt. Your pancreas scrambles to release insulin to manage the sudden spike in blood glucose. Think of it like a fire alarm going off every time you eat something sugary. Your body has to drop everything it's doing to deal with this emergency. This constant state of alarm is incredibly stressful for your internal systems. Over time, this repeated stress can lead to serious problems. Your cells can become resistant to insulin, which is a direct pathway to developing type 2 diabetes. But it doesn't stop there. The body is incredibly efficient at one thing: survival. When it's flooded with more sugar than it can use for immediate energy, it does the logical thing: it stores it for later. And where does it store it? As fat, particularly visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs. This process is a major driver of the obesity epidemic we see today. It's not just about calories in, calories out. The type of calorie matters immensely. 100 calories from sugar and 100 calories from broccoli have vastly different hormonal and metabolic effects on your body. The sugar-driven fat storage contributes not only to weight gain, but also to a host of related health issues, including non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Beyond weight gain and diabetes, sugar wages a war on your immune system. Studies have shown that a high intake of sugar can temporarily suppress your immune cells' ability to fight off bacteria and viruses. It's like sending your body's defense team on a coffee break right when an invader is at the gate. This can leave you more susceptible to getting sick. Furthermore, sugar promotes inflammation throughout the body. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is now understood to be a root cause of many major diseases, including heart disease, arthritis, and even certain types of cancer. So when you reach for that sugary snack, you're not just satisfying a craving, you're potentially fueling a fire of inflammation inside your body that can have long-lasting and devastating consequences. It's a sweet trap, and understanding the mechanism is the first step to avoiding it. Coming in at number 2 is an ingredient that's just as common as sugar, and in many ways, just as damaging: refined white flour. Think about it. Bread, pasta, pastries, crackers, pizza crust, it's everywhere. We've been conditioned to see these as staple foods, but the reality is that modern white flour is a nutritional ghost of its former self. It's been stripped of everything that makes a whole grain valuable. The process of refining flour is incredibly harsh. The original wheat grain contains three parts: the bran, which is the fiber-rich outer layer, the germ, which is the nutrient-packed core, and the endosperm, the starchy part. To make white flour, manufacturers mill the grain and strip away the bran and the germ. Why? Because it gives the flour a finer texture and a longer shelf life. But in doing so, they remove almost all the fiber, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats. What you're left with is essentially pure, powdered starch. When you eat a product made from white flour, your digestive system doesn't have to do much work. There's no fiber to slow things down. As a result, that starch is converted into glucose almost as quickly as if you had eaten pure sugar. This is why we say white flour acts like sugar in the body. It causes that same rapid spike in blood sugar and the subsequent surge of insulin. Just like with sugar, this insulin spike is a signal to your body to stop burning fat and start storing it. If you're eating white bread for breakfast, a white pasta for lunch, and a pizza for dinner, you're keeping your body in a constant state of fat storage. This cycle not only leads to weight gain, but also contributes to that same insulin resistance we talked about, paving the way for metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. The problem is compounded by the fact that these foods are often what we call hyperpalatable. They're engineered to be incredibly easy to eat and to make you want more. Because they lack fiber and protein, they don't make you feel full or satisfied for very long. You can eat a huge bowl of pasta, feel stuffed for an hour, and then feel hungry again soon after. This leads to overconsumption of calories and a vicious cycle of cravings. So, when you see enriched wheat flour on a label, don't be fooled. Enriched simply means that after stripping out all the natural nutrients, manufacturers have artificially added back a few synthetic vitamins, like B vitamins and iron. It's a poor substitute for the complex nutritional package that nature originally provided. Choosing whole grains, where the bran and germ are intact, is a far superior choice for maintaining stable blood sugar, promoting digestive health, and getting the nutrients your body truly needs. Now, this next one might be a bit controversial, because for decades we've been told it does a body good. I'm talking about milk. The dairy industry has run some of the most successful marketing campaigns in history, positioning milk as the ultimate source of calcium for strong bones. But the scientific picture is far more complex, and for many people, milk might be causing more problems than it solves. First, let's address the elephant in the room: lactose intolerance. A huge portion of the world's population, some estimates say up to 65 to 75%, lacks sufficient amounts of the enzyme lactase, which is needed to properly digest lactose, the sugar found in milk. For these individuals, consuming dairy can lead to a host of uncomfortable digestive issues: bloating, gas, cramps, and diarrhea. Many people live with this low-grade discomfort for years without ever connecting it to their daily glass of milk or bowl of cereal. Even for those who can digest lactose, the nature of modern milk is a concern. The milk most of us buy in the supermarket has undergone significant processing. Pasteurization, which involves heating milk to high temperatures to kill bacteria, also destroys beneficial enzymes and probiotics, and can denature some of the proteins, making them harder for our bodies to recognize and digest. This alteration can sometimes trigger an inflammatory response. This leads us to the proteins in milk, specifically casein and whey. For some people, these proteins, particularly A1 beta-casein found in most conventional cow's milk, can be inflammatory. This inflammation isn't just limited to the gut. It can manifest as skin issues like acne and eczema, increased mucus production leading to sinus and respiratory problems, and even contribute to systemic low-grade inflammation that is a risk factor for chronic diseases. Then there's the hormonal aspect. Milk is designed by nature to make a baby calf grow into a huge cow in a very short amount of time. It's packed with growth hormones, like insulin-like growth factor 1. While these are natural, consuming them from another species may have unintended consequences in the human body. Some research has linked high levels of IGF-1 from dairy consumption to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly prostate and breast cancer. Ultimately, whether milk is harmful is highly individual. Some people tolerate it just fine, especially high-quality, grass-fed and fermented forms like yogurt or kefir. But for a significant number of people, it can be a source of chronic digestive distress and inflammation. If you suffer from issues like bloating, acne, or sinus congestion, it might be worth experimenting with eliminating dairy for a few weeks to see how your body responds. The results might surprise you. Number 4 on our list is a category of food that probably won't surprise anyone, but its dangers run deeper than you might think. I'm talking about fast food. In our busy, convenience-driven world, the drive-thru can seem like a lifesaver. It's quick, it's cheap, and it's engineered to taste good. But that convenience comes at a steep price for your health. The first major issue is the sheer concentration of unhealthy components. A typical fast food meal, a burger, fries, and a soda, is a trifecta of nutritional disaster. It's loaded with staggering amounts of unhealthy fats, specifically saturated and trans fats. These fats are used because they're stable, cheap, and give food a desirable texture, but they are devastating for your cardiovascular system. They raise your LDL, or bad cholesterol, and lower your HDL, or good cholesterol. Then there's the sodium. Fast food companies pack their products with salt to enhance flavor and to act as a preservative. It's not uncommon for a single fast food meal to contain your entire recommended daily sodium intake, and sometimes even more. This relentless assault of sodium puts immense strain on your kidneys and is a primary driver of high blood pressure or hypertension, which significantly increases your risk for heart attack and stroke. And of course, we can't forget the sugar. It's not just in the soda. Sugar is hidden everywhere in fast food. In the buns, in the sauces, in the salad dressings. A simple ketchup packet contains a surprising amount of sugar. This constant influx of sugar, combined with the refined flour in the buns and batters, creates that familiar blood sugar roller coaster, promoting fat storage and contributing to metabolic dysfunction. Beyond these big three offenders, there's the issue of quality. The ingredients used are often the cheapest available. The meat can be from animals raised in factory farms. The potatoes are deep fried in oils that have been used over and over again, becoming oxidized and inflammatory. The meals are almost completely devoid of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, the very things your body needs to function properly. You're getting a massive load of calories with almost zero nutritional benefit. Perhaps one of the most insidious aspects of fast food is its effect on our brains and eating habits. These foods are scientifically designed to be hyper-palatable, hitting all our primal reward centers with the perfect combination of fat, salt, and sugar. This can create a response in the brain similar to addiction, leading to intense cravings and making it harder to choose healthier options. It's a trap designed to keep you coming back for more, regardless of the long-term consequences for your health. Moving on to number 5, we have an item that many people consider a convenient and healthy source of protein-processed meats. This category includes things like deli meats for sandwiches, hot dogs, bacon, sausages, and jerky. While they might seem like a quick and easy option, a large body of scientific evidence has linked regular consumption of these products to some very serious health risks. The main concern with processed meats lies in the methods used to preserve them. To extend their shelf life and enhance their color and flavor, manufacturers use curing, smoking, salting, and the addition of chemical preservatives. One of the most problematic groups of these chemicals is nitrates and nitrites. When these compounds are exposed to high heat during cooking, or when they interact with a heme ion in red meat, they can form nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are potent carcinogenic compounds. This isn't just a theory. The evidence is strong enough that the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer, or IARC, has classified processed meat as a Group 1 carcinogen. This is the same category as tobacco smoke and asbestos. This classification means there is convincing evidence that it causes cancer in humans, particularly colorectal cancer. The risk increases with the amount consumed. The IARC report concluded that eating just 50 grams of processed meat every day, that's equivalent to about 2 slices of bacon or 1 hot dog, increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. While that might not sound like a huge number, it's a significant and preventable risk factor for one of the most common types of cancer. Beyond the cancer risk, processed meats are typically loaded with sodium. Just a few slices of deli turkey or ham can contain a substantial portion of your daily recommended sodium limit. As we discussed with fast food, this high sodium intake is a major contributor to high blood pressure, which in turn increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. The constant strain on your cardiovascular system from a high sodium diet is a serious health threat. Furthermore, these products are often high in saturated fats, which can negatively impact cholesterol levels and contribute to atherosclerosis, the hardening and narrowing of the arteries. When you combine the carcinogens, the extreme sodium levels, and the unhealthy fats, you have a food product that, despite its protein content, poses a multifaceted threat to your long-term health. Opting for fresh, unprocessed sources of protein like chicken breast, fish, beans, or lentils is a much safer bet for your daily meals. At number 6, we have a food that is the very definition of an empty calorie indulgence, the donut. It's often seen as a simple, harmless treat to have with coffee, but when you break down what a donut actually is, you uncover a perfect storm of the worst ingredients for your health, all rolled into one convenient sugary package. It's a triple threat of nutritional chaos. The first punch comes from the refined white flour. As we've already established, white flour is stripped of all its nutrients and fiber, acting just like sugar in your bloodstream. It provides a rapid-release carbohydrate base that sets the stage for a massive blood sugar spike. This isn't just a food, it's a delivery system for quickly digestible starch that your body immediately converts to glucose, triggering that fat-storing insulin response. The second, and perhaps most powerful punch, is the sugar. Donuts are not just made with sugar, they are often drenched in it. Whether it's a sugary glaze, a powdered coating, a jelly filling, or sprinkles on top, the sugar content is astronomical. A single glazed donut can contain anywhere from 15 to 30 grams of sugar. That's like eating 4 to 7 sugar cubes in one go. This massive sugar load sends your blood sugar and insulin levels into overdrive. The third and final blow in this unhealthy combination is the fat it's fried in. To get that classic texture, donuts are deep fried. The oils used are typically cheap vegetable oils that are not stable at high heat. Worse yet, in the past, many were fried in partially hydrogenated oils, which are the primary source of artificial trans fats. Trans fats are the most dangerous type of fat you can consume. Trans fats are known to wreak havoc on your cardiovascular system. They simultaneously raise your LDL, or bad cholesterol, and lower your HDL, or good cholesterol, a double whammy for your arteries. They promote inflammation and damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels, known as the endothelium, which is a critical step in the development of heart disease. Even though many places have phased out trans fats, the frying process itself, especially with reused oil, can create other harmful compounds. So when you eat a donut, you're consuming a product that combines the worst aspects of sugar and white flour with the dangers of unhealthy, often inflammatory fats. It provides a massive caloric hit with virtually zero nutritional value. No vitamins, no minerals, no fiber, no beneficial phytonutrients. It's a recipe for weight gain, metabolic dysfunction, and cardiovascular damage, all disguised as a light and fluffy treat. Next up on our list is one of the world's most popular snack foods, something you'll find at almost every party, sandwich shop, and vending machine: potato crisps, or potato chips. That satisfying crunch and salty flavor are, honestly, incredibly addictive. But what's happening behind the scenes, both in the manufacturing process and inside your body, is, well, deeply concerning. The problem, you see, starts with the cooking method. Potato crisps are made by slicing potatoes very thinly and deep frying them at extremely high temperatures. This high-heat cooking process, when applied to starchy foods like potatoes, causes a chemical reaction between sugars and an amino acid called asparagine. This reaction forms a compound called acrylamide. Acrylamide is a known neurotoxin and is classified as a probable human carcinogen. While acrylamide can form in many high-temperature cooked foods, potato crisps and French fries are among the biggest dietary sources. The amount of acrylamide can vary depending on the type of potato and the specific cooking temperature and time, but its presence is a significant and unavoidable risk of consuming these products. So, you are essentially eating a snack that contains a substance linked to cancer. On top of the acrylamide risk, potato crisps are, by their very nature, calorie-dense and nutrient-poor. The thin slices of potato act like little sponges, soaking up an enormous amount of oil during the frying process. This obviously makes them incredibly high in fat and calories. A small single-serving bag can easily pack 150 to 200 calories and 10 to 15 grams of fat. Yet it does very little to make you feel full, making it super easy to overeat. The type of fat used is also a major issue. As with donuts, the oils are typically cheap vegetable oils like corn, sunflower, or soybean oil. These oils are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we do need some omega-6, the modern diet provides a massively imbalanced ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. This imbalance is highly pro-inflammatory and is linked to a wide range of chronic inflammatory diseases. And finally, there's the salt. To achieve that crave-worthy flavor, potato crisps are blasted with sodium. It's not uncommon for a single bag to contain 10 to 15% of your recommended daily sodium intake. As we've discussed, this contributes to high blood pressure and an increased risk of heart disease. So, you have a probable carcinogen, inflammatory fats, and excessive sodium, all in one package. It's a snack that actively works against your health with every crunchy bite. At number 8, we're looking at a category that delivers harmful ingredients in one of the most efficient ways possible, the liquid form. I'm talking about sodas and other sugary drinks. These beverages are arguably one of the single worst things you can put into your body, offering absolutely zero nutritional value while actively causing harm. They are, quite literally, liquid candy. The primary problem with regular soda is the colossal amount of sugar. A single 12-ounce can of cola contains around 39 grams of sugar, which is about 10 teaspoons. Because it's in liquid form, this sugar is absorbed into your bloodstream almost instantly. Your body doesn't have to do any work to break it down. This causes an extreme spike in blood sugar and a massive insulin response from your pancreas, far more dramatic than what you'd get from solid food. This flood of sugar, specifically the fructose component, puts immense strain on your liver. The liver is the only organ that can metabolize fructose in large amounts. When it's overwhelmed, it starts converting that fructose directly into fat. This process is a key driver of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, visceral fat accumulation, and elevated triglycerides, all of which are major risk factors for heart disease and metabolic syndrome. But what about diet sodas? They have no sugar, so they must be a healthy alternative, right? Unfortunately, the science suggests otherwise. Diet sodas replace sugar with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or acesulfame potassium. While these are calorie-free, they can have their own set of negative consequences. Some research suggests they can alter our gut microbiome in unfavorable ways, potentially leading to glucose intolerance. Furthermore, these artificial sweeteners are intensely sweet, often hundreds of times sweeter than sugar. This can desensitize your palate to naturally sweet foods like fruit, and may even trick your brain. When your brain tastes something intensely sweet, it expects calories and energy to follow. When they don't, it can disrupt the body's ability to regulate hunger and calorie intake, potentially leading to cravings for actual sugar later on. Beyond sweeteners, both regular and diet sodas contain other questionable chemicals, such as phosphoric acid, which has been linked to lower bone density, and artificial colorings like caramel color, which in some manufacturing processes can create a carcinogenic byproduct called 4-MEI. When you add it all up, the sugar or artificial sweeteners, the chemicals, the lack of nutrients, it becomes clear that these drinks have no place in a healthy diet. Swapping them for water is one of the most impactful health changes you can make. For number 9, we're tackling a food that was once marketed as a healthy alternative to butter, but has since been revealed as a major health hazard. I'm talking about margarine. The story of margarine is a perfect example of how nutritional science can evolve and how marketing can sometimes lead us down a very unhealthy path. For decades, people were told to fear the saturated fat in butter and switch to margarine. The original problem with margarine, particularly the hard stick margarines that were popular for many years, was that they were loaded with industrial trans fats. Margarine is made by taking liquid vegetable oil and subjecting it to a process called hydrogenation to make it solid at room temperature. A byproduct of this process, specifically partial hydrogenation, is the creation of trans fatty acids. As we discussed with donuts, trans fats are an unmitigated disaster for cardiovascular health. They are structurally foreign to the human body, and our systems don't know how to process them properly. They have been shown to dramatically increase levels of LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, while simultaneously decreasing levels of HDL, the good cholesterol. This is the worst possible combination for your arteries. Trans fats also promote systemic inflammation and cause dysfunction in the endothelium, the delicate inner lining of our blood vessels. A damaged endothelium is less able to regulate blood pressure and blood clotting, setting the stage for the buildup of plaque, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This is the underlying cause of most heart attacks and strokes. The evidence against trans fats became so overwhelming that many countries have now banned them. In response, manufacturers reformulated their products. Many modern soft tub margarines and vegetable oil spreads are now trans fat-free. However, this doesn't automatically make them a health food. They are still highly processed products made from industrial seed oils like soybean, corn, or canola oil. These oils are often extracted using high heat and chemical solvents, and are very high in those pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. So, while the new formulations are certainly better than the old trans fat-laden sticks, they are still a highly processed food rich in inflammatory fats. A much better choice is to use healthy, natural fats. Options like extra virgin olive oil for dressings, avocado oil for cooking, or even small amounts of grass-fed butter are far superior. These fats are less processed and offer a better fatty acid profile, providing benefits rather than posing risks to your health. For our final and 10th harmful food, we're looking at something often perceived as a quick, easy, and even comforting meal: canned soup. On a cold day, a warm bowl of soup seems like a healthy choice, especially if it's full of vegetables. However, the convenience of canned soup often masks some significant health concerns, primarily related to sodium and the can itself. The most glaring issue with the vast majority of commercial canned soups is their astronomical sodium content. Salt is a cheap and effective preservative and flavor enhancer, so manufacturers use it liberally. It's not uncommon for a single serving of canned soup to contain 800, 900, or even over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's more than half of the recommended daily limit for many people in just one small bowl. This chronic overdose of sodium is incredibly taxing on your body. It forces your kidneys to work overtime to excrete the excess, and it causes your body to retain water, which increases blood volume. This elevated blood volume puts more pressure on the walls of your blood vessels, leading directly to high blood pressure or hypertension. Over time, hypertension is a major risk factor for heart disease, stroke, and kidney failure. Beyond the salt, there's the can itself. For many years, the inner lining of most food and beverage cans contained a chemical called bisphenol A, or BPA. BPA is an endocrine disruptor, which means it can interfere with the body's hormonal system. It mimics estrogen and has been linked in numerous studies to a range of health problems, including reproductive issues, developmental problems in children, and an increased risk of certain cancers. While many companies have now transitioned to BPA-free cans in response to consumer pressure, the replacement chemicals are not always well studied. Some research suggests that replacement compounds like BPS and BPF may have similar endocrine disrupting properties. The safest approach is to minimize your exposure to these chemicals by choosing foods packaged in glass or cartons whenever possible. Finally, the nutritional quality of canned soup is often compromised. The high heat canning process required for preservation can destroy some of the delicate, heat-sensitive vitamins, like vitamin C and certain B vitamins. So while the soup may contain vegetables, you're not getting their full nutritional benefit. Making soup at home from fresh ingredients is a far healthier option. It allows you to control the sodium content completely, avoid can linings, and preserve the maximum amount of nutrients. And there you have it, the top 10 harmful foods that might be lurking in your pantry. We've covered a lot, from the sweet poison of sugar and refined flour to the hidden dangers in processed meats and canned soups. The common thread here is that these are highly processed products that have been stripped of nutrients and loaded with unhealthy fats, sugar, and sodium. They are designed for shelf life and profit, not for your long-term health and vitality. My goal today wasn't to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge so you can see past the marketing and make informed choices. Making changes can feel overwhelming, so don't feel like you have to eliminate everything overnight. Start small. Pick 1 or 2 items from this list that you consume regularly and try to find a healthier swap. Instead of soda, try sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon. Instead of a donut, have a piece of fruit. Small, consistent changes are what lead to lasting results and a profound improvement in how you feel every single day. Your health is your greatest asset, and every meal is an opportunity to invest in it. Now I want to hear from you. Was this post helpful to you? Did any of the foods on this list surprise you? What's one change you're inspired to make after watching this? Please comment below. Your feedback and your stories are what make this community so special. And if you found this video useful, please show your support by hitting that like button. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more evidence-based health tips to help you live your healthiest life. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. And before you go, please like this video, and for more videos, please subscribe to the channel. You can also visit my blog. The link is in the description below.